Lewis Hamilton has just dropped a bombshell, one so sudden, so brutally honest, it may have completely flipped the script on Ferrari's escalating crisis. As the Formula One paddock buzzes with speculation over Fred Vasseur's possible ousting, and as names like Christian Horner and Antonello Coletta swirl through shadowy backroom whispers, Hamilton has stepped into the spotlight, but not with vague niceties or polished PR cliches. No, what he said slices straight into the chaos burning through Maranello, and that's exactly why this moment feels so explosive. While the media circles like vultures and the pressure intensifies with every disappointing race result, Hamilton hasn't chosen the safety of silence. He's taken a stand, defiant, bold, and unmistakably clear. What he's just revealed doesn't merely impact Vasseur's future, it could shift the entire trajectory of Ferrari's 2025 season. But why now? What does Hamilton have on us that we don't? And what does it reveal about the silent struggle for supremacy within the world's most storied racing franchise? Don't blink, don't flinch. Because what you're about to hear isn't clickbait. It isn't tabloid trash. This is unvarnished, unbridled Formula One drama, ripped from behind the fortress gates of Ferrari. So hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around, because what Hamilton just said may very well be the most telling quote of the whole season. Lewis Hamilton does not crack under pressure. He has been hardened by fire, by controversy, expectation, and all sorts of adversity. And he has emerged each time with a calm, measured courage that few athletes in any sport can match. But this may be his most bold statement yet. Because what he just said about Fred Vasseur, the man clinging for dear life at the top of Ferrari, wasn't just support, it was a shot across the bow, a warning, an ultimatum disguised as affection. The rumors began as whispers. Now they're a firestorm. Ferrari has gone winless through the first 10 races of 2025. Internally, the meltdown has only grown more intense. Faith in Vasseur? Shattering. Boardroom faith? Broken. On the grid, Hamilton and Leclerc look visibly fuming. Calls on strategy have been piecemeal. Technical developments? Ad hoc at best. Meanwhile, McLaren is flying. Red Bull has tripped, but only just enough to allow Ferrari to fantasize about finishing second best. But beneath that gleaming surface, there has been a storm brewing. Then the initial gaping fracture. Ferrari had surreptitiously courted Christian Horner in secret. When that one did not pan out, they approached Plan B, this time to Antonello Coletta, leader of their endurance racing department, and just as the storm was about to approach, Hamilton moved in and brought the entire thing to a halt. When asked directly about the Vasseur rumor, Hamilton did not sidestep. He did not water down his answer with cliches of safe, sanitized statements. He declared this: "Fred's why I'm here with this team. I enjoy working with him. I would want Fred to be here. I believe he's the guy to take us to the top." This was not half-hearted support. This was a declaration, a public, deliberate declaration, to the Ferrari boardroom, to fans, and to anyone plotting behind the scenes. Hamilton has wagered his final, highest chapter, his Ferrari legacy, on one man, Fred Vasseur. What are the stakes? Colossal, historic. Hamilton's move to Ferrari was never destined to be a quick win or a massive payday. It was a lifetime mission, a venture on vision, belief, and unwavering belief. And if the belief does not hold, if Vasseur is removed, then everything Hamilton is working to build falls apart. Ferrari may be desperate to switch, but Hamilton's response is unambiguous. Count me out of that plan. He's not here for restarts. He's here for predictability, continuity, command, and he wants Fred Vasseur to be the architect of the project. And yet, there's a worse timing. Ferrari has not been doing well, still winless, no podiums at all for Hamilton so far. The SF25 has seen flashes of speed at times, but much more often, it's been revealing its frailties. Floor damage in Canada, setup confusion, tire wear, erratic qualifying, and all this with two of the best drivers on the grid. The frustration isn't just visible, it's broadcasted through team radios, body language, and headlines. So when Hamilton says it looks a lot worse outside than it probably is, on the inside, he's doing more than damage control. He's trying to hold the center while everything around him fractures. It's a form of leadership few drivers take on, especially in public. He's not just defending Vasseur. He's defending the entire team against itself, against doubt, against impatience, against the temptation to start over again. Because let's face it, Ferrari's pattern is well-known impatience, resets revolving doors in management. It's a cycle that's defined the post-Schumacher era, and every time a project is scrapped early, it delays the rebuild even more. Hamilton knows that Vasseur knows that does Ferrari's upper management. The timing of Hamilton's words is not coincidental with rumors swirling and the media turning up the pressure. His voice carries weight. He's telling the world, and more importantly, the men in suits behind the curtain, that this time Ferrari must resist its old instincts, that Vasseur deserves the time to finish what he started, and if they don't listen, the consequences could be seismic, because while Hamilton's declaration was calm, its message was razor sharp. If Fred goes, Lewis might follow, not immediately, but spiritually the unity, the belief, the trust that all disappears, and in a team already walking a tightrope, that kind of fracture could be fatal. So yes, what Hamilton just revealed about Fred Vasseur is nothing short of insane, not because of how dramatic it sounded, but because of what it means. It's a driver putting everything on the line. It's a message that says stability over chaos, loyalty over politics, trust over pressure in an era of F1 where drivers play diplomat more than ever. Hamilton just played kingmaker, and whether Ferrari chooses to listen might determine not just Vasseur's future, but their own. So don't go anywhere, because what's unfolding now isn't just a turning point for Fred Vasseur, it's something far deeper. Political ground under Maranello is shifting. And for once, it's not happening behind closed doors. It's happening live out in the open in front of fans, media, rival teams, and most importantly, two of the most high-profile drivers in the sport. Lewis Hamilton's statement wasn't just supportive. It was strategic when a seven-time world champion publicly defends a team principle under fire. He's not just showing loyalty, he's drawing a line. He's sending a warning. Hamilton isn't just another driver passing through Ferrari. He's the face of their future. And now he's effectively said, if Fred goes, everything changes. And that raises terrifying questions for Ferrari's top brass, because if they're seriously considering removing Vasseur, they're not just removing a team boss, they're detonating the foundation of the project. They used to attract Hamilton in the first place. They're risking the confidence of a driver who came not just for podiums, but for a legacy-defining chapter, and in doing so, they may trigger a level of instability that no mid-season replacement, be it Cleta or anyone else, can possibly contain. Think about the timing we're approaching. A pivotal point in the season. 2026 is looming with massive regulation changes and a chance to reset the pecking order. Barr cannot afford to enter that era in turmoil. They cannot afford to lose Hamilton's trust, nor Lair's patience, because if either of those two pillars starts to crack, the consequences won't be confined to this season. They'll echo for years. Cleta may bring structure. He may bring results from endurance racing. He doesn't bring the relationship Hamilton already has with Vasseur. He doesn't bring the continuity. This team desperately needs to climb out of its spiral. And right now, continuity is everything. Ferrari has tried reshuffles before. They've tried resets, new technical directors, new team principles, new philosophies. But what they've never had in this era is time to actually let something develop. And maybe that's what Hamilton is trying to buy them, a moment to breathe, to stabilize, to believe in a vision that doesn't involve panicking. After every failed weekend, he knows the car isn't where it needs to be. He knows the strategy calls have been poor. But more importantly, he knows how quickly the cracks in Ferrari's foundation can spread. If pressure is applied from the top down, this story, then is no longer just about whether Fred Vasseur keeps his job. It's about whether Ferrari can learn from the past or whether they're doomed to repeat it. And it's about whether Hamilton, who has stood by Vasseur publicly and passionately, is truly being heard within the walls of Maranello, or whether his loyalty, like so many promises at Ferrari, will go unrewarded. So stay with us, because this isn't just a moment of internal drama, it's a reckoning, a fork in the road for the most famous team in motorsport, and the decisions made in the next few weeks could shape not only the final races of 2025, the very DNA of Ferrari heading into the next era of Formula One. Smash that like button if you're as invested in this drama as we are. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single twist and turn on the notifications, because what comes next could define everything.